adventure is a wild camp, first of the year, as you can see from behind me, just probably. We've got Whernside in the distance. I'm going to chance my arm up there. Forecast has been pretty abysmal. It's been raining most of the way here, but it seems to have faired up now, and it's supposed to stay dry most of the night and dry tomorrow morning, so it looks like I may just get away with it. So I shall catch up with you hopefully at base camp. See you shortly. So camp wise tonight, I've got several ideas, but it will all depend on how soggy it is, because obviously there's been a lot of rain recently. One of the ideas is up at Moss. Oh, do you know? I've got a terrible memory. Moss Tarn, I think it's called, which is the tarn directly below the peak of Whernside, because I'd heard it was going to be very windy tonight, so I didn't want to be possibly on the top if I could avoid it. If that's waterlogged, which it may be because of all the rain and being near a water source, next choice is the top of Whernside, which is quite exposed, apart from a bit of a wall that I might be able to get behind. But let's say I'd read the news, the weather news, that there was going to be 30 miles an hour winds. So that's not mega windy, but it's windy enough to disturb your sleep, so I'd rather not be in it if I can help it. And then the third option, if I get to the top and it's just too windy, is the actual Whernside Tarn, which is kind of down the other side of Whernside, which I don't normally go down that way, because I usually do it as part of the Three Peaks. So it's down the other side, I've never been down there before. I think that might be a bit more solid ground, but I prefer my first option, because it means I don't have to walk as far, and I'm a little bit behind schedule, because I set off a bit later than hoped. Got a little bit lost, took a very, very scenic route, which was very pretty, but miles out my way. I did about 35 minutes on the journey, so we'll see how we get on. But fingers crossed the first place will be hard enough for me to set up tent without sinking. So I'll see you shortly. So there's no wind as forecast, which is a nice bonus, because it said it was going to be proper windy, but it is very cloudy up at the top. You can see up there, it's quite a far way away, but it looks like I might be pitching my tent in the clouds, so no sunset pictures probably, and probably no sunrise pictures, but you never know. I've been lucky so far, so it may clear. I know the sun's trying to come out a little bit, the clouds are breaking up just a touch, so who knows. Sun always shines on the righteous. Looks like the cloud might have cleared a little bit, he says with his fingers crossed. Just over 3 miles in now, not far from the tarn that I want to set up on, but let's see if it's boggy or not. So I better get a wriggle on, stop taking videos. Well, that's disappointing. I've got to the place where I was going to camp initially. I thought it might be a bit boggy, and it is, and I don't want to risk my tent soaking through in the ground sheet, etc., or worse. But this is the view. But that said, it is a bummer, but there is absolutely no wind that was forecast for now. So I think it'll be pitching it up on the top, which means I've got to get up there. Now I don't know if this is going to come out right in the film, but this looks pretty special. Through the fog the sun is just going down, and it may not come out very well on here, but it just looks like it's on Mars. It's like totally orange, and you can just see right in the middle the sun's there going down. So I'm at the top of Whernside anyway, so as you can see, very foggy, usual views. I'm just trying to find a suitable place so that if somebody does decide to come walking very, very early in the morning, I'm not going to be in their footpath, but at the same time I want somewhere that's reasonably sheltered. So I'm probably going to be gone by crack of dawn, so there's the little shelter there, so I'm thinking maybe just here-ish, somewhere around here, just so I'm not on the footpath, but I've got the wall sheltering me a little bit. So just check that one more time. Disappearing now because it's getting thick cloud. So I shall get the tent up. Watch this space. So I'll be honest with you, I brought you back a little bit later than I expected. I was, well, it took me a while to put the tent up because it was getting dark, and then, would you believe, this little tent down here, sorry, this little table down here, took me forever. It's 2 pieces, well 4 pieces, these 2 and the legs, and it took me like forever to put it up. Yeah, I know, you won't believe it. It's not just a little foldy thing, it's so stupid. Yeah, it's not my favourite piece of kit, and it took me ages to put it together. I'm quite embarrassed really. So I am just getting my stove ready. Unfortunately it's just started spitting, so that's why I'm cooking inside the tent. Yeah, not recommended, but adequate ventilation under the tent because it's a summer tent rather than a full winter tent. There's plenty of ventilation here, and when I get the stove on, I'm going to open this up here, so there will be plenty of ventilation, so I'm not going to die of anything. So I've got a choice for tea tonight. I've got these new Summit to eat. So we've got pasta bolognese, or chicken tikka with rice. I can't decide, I quite fancy both of them. So I think I'm going to go for the chicken tikka with rice. So because I was planning to camp by the tarn, I didn't bring quite as much water as I was hoping. When I realised I couldn't camp by the tarn, I thought, I know, when I get a bit further up I'll grab one of the water sources and I'll use my filter. And my water filter wasn't where I thought I'd packed it, so I spent ages looking for it in my rucksack, and it was getting cold, and I just thought, do you know what, sod it, I'll survive. And I will. I've actually got plenty. Let's see, this is my water carrier. So there's probably nearly a litre and a half there at least, probably. Enough to keep me going. I've got plenty to drink, and I'll be, back down to civilization tomorrow, so just give this a quick stir. I've not had these before, these pasta bolognese, but they're highly recommended. The trouble is, all these foods, they're all quite expensive. I think these are normally about like £5 each something, but one of the Facebook sites I'm on, I got a discount code, and I thought, oh, sod it, I'll buy 4, see what they're like. Because some of them, they do puddings as well, which is pretty cool, but at a £5 a time, you might as well go to the pub and have something at the pub. Obviously you can't when you're completely wild camping, but, or also, another cheap alternative is going to the supermarket and buying just like a cheap packet pasta and doing it that way. It's just as easy, and they're like 50p, but obviously you can't do them in the bag because the bag's leak. I'm speaking from experience, but I shall bring you back shortly when I get this eaten, see what it's like. So 10 minutes is up and it's all cooked, and it's pretty hot actually. I'm not going to be able to get this with it. You can see this, it's like fusilli. Little pasta, fusilli, twizzly ones, whatever you can. There's fusilli in it, twizzly pasta, and
and minced beef, I'm guessing. I'm not sure I can eat it, it's a bit too hot, but I shall have a try. Thumbs up. It's pretty good, that, actually. And I don't know how many calories are in them. They are 578 calories, so for the weight that you're carrying up in the first place, when these are 130 grams in weight, which is nothing, add water and you're getting a decent meal out of it. So if you've been walking all day, which I haven't been walking all day, but I haven't eaten the right lot today, so this with a packet of Jaffa cakes will sort me out fine. So as promised, here's a little tour of my tent. So here's the vestibule. I keep my boots. Again, I'm not sure whether you can see this. Boots, water, cooking stove, etc. There's a bit of a ground sheet down there, a bit messy. And in here, I don't know if you can see this, that's my rucksack. Spin you right round. Here's my sleeping arrangements. That's a Rabascent 900. So warm, so comfy. It lofts up massive. It's not been out that long. And it just, yeah, it's so comfy. And underneath that is my Thermarest. I forgot what it's called now. Thermarest. Oh, Neoair, I think. Pricey, but insulated. It's got some clever stuff inside it. A bit like tin foil, but it reflects the heat from your body. It's very comfy, if not a little bit crinkly when you move. But that's super comfy, and that's about it, really. Yeah, I've just recently been given permission to upgrade my tent by my wife. Not that I need permission as such, but when I tell you how much they are, you might go, bloody hell. The Hilleberg that I want is £750. £750. A lot of money. Similar design to this. This is kind of a Hilleberg rip-off, but the difference being the Hilleberg is bomb-proof, and you can take it out on the tops of the moors. Virtually, it's almost Arctic expedition proof, but not quite. And if I'm going to be doing a lot of wild camping to keep out of the way of people who don't like wild campers, I'm going to be doing it out of the way up on the tops in the lakes, and you know, it can get blowing a right hurricane up there, can't it? So you want a tent that can hold its own, and the Hilleberg Solo is the one I'm probably going to go for. As I say, it's a bit smaller than this, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to be a bit better organised, because I like a bit of space to spread out. This is officially a two-man tent, really, but it's not. It's one man and gear, as you'll see once I've spread out. Like I say, that's all my gear here. If there was two people in this, you'd struggle a bit. So as I say, I won't be getting one until nearer the winter time, because this will probably see me through summer easy. It's a good little, cracking little tent. Can't fault it. I've double pegged a couple of lines tonight just in case it gets extra windy, but I think it'll hold up well. It's just a bit breezy out there. I think it'll be absolutely fine. So I think I'm going to probably settle in down for the night now, to be honest with you. So if I don't speak to you before, or if nothing of any event, or if I don't get attacked by a mad axeman in the middle of the night, I shall see you in the morning at some point. Cheers. Good night.
Morning. It's 5:30-ish. Took me a while to get off to sleep last night. Ooh, excuse me. Took me a while to get off to sleep last night, and it was toasty warm. Can't complain about the heat. It was certainly warm enough. Leaving magazines to that. But the winds whipped up at about 2 in the morning, 2:30 maybe. It's not been massively windy, but windy enough to flap the tent about quite a bit. And so it's, I want to say I've had the best night's sleep, but to be fair, usually wild camping is not, it's not about a good night's sleep, it's just about the experience. Cheesy, I know, but it's true. So I've just been out to have a look outside, and it's very foggy. It's dry, but very foggy, and visibility is 0. So no views, no sunrises, no nothing. It's just blech. So I might just have another hour. Well, it's about 20 minutes later from when I last checked in, and to be honest with you, this wind is getting up a bit. There's no chance of me getting back to sleep again. So I've just thought, sod it,
just lying here playing with my phone. So I thought I might as well just have a coffee. It's going to be fun packing up in this weather because say it's blowing a right gale, so I must remember to hook a guy line onto my rucksack before I start dismantling it, so that if there's a massive gust I don't lose my tent like a kite. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah. I mean, the tent's not going anywhere as such. You know, it's blowing a gale. You can't really tell perhaps so much. It's blowing a gale, but it's just my one criticism of this tent, I've never used it in winds, proper winds before. It's very flappy. You know, it's not, like I say, it's not going anywhere. It's pegged down. It's fairly sturdy, but it's just very, very flappy. The inner is quite loose by design. You know, not through any fault, just the way it is, and it's just very. Just like flappy is the only word I can use. It just flaps too much, which makes a bit of a racket, so you're never going to sleep. So this is my view this morning. Not quite as beautiful as last night. I might just stay in the tent all day, to be honest with you. I'm very tempted. I don't really want to go out there, it's horrible. Oh, nice and cosy in here. That's how fast it boils. There you go. It's like, you can see there. That's on fast boil. Just what you need in the morning. You're gonna brew. Brew's up. Nice cup of brew. Nice hot coffee in the morning. So I've got a Mars bar left from yesterday, and I never even touched my Jaffa cakes. I know, sacrilegious. So I'm guessing it's Jaffa cakes and Mars bars for breakfast. Oh, there we go. The Mars bar might be frozen. Twin pack and a Mars bar. Mars bar it is. To quote somebody who I follow on YouTube, does it get any better than this? The answer is yes, it does. British summer, you've got to love it. Well, that's where I was pitched last night. So I've done a bit of flat grass. That's all I've left. Leave no trace is the ethos of wild camping. Not like these idiots that go around the laser strips leaving glass everywhere and rubbish and knackered tents. Nobody knows I've been here. Pitched up late last night. It's not even 7:30 yet, and I'm packed up and going. Nobody knows I've been here apart from the sheep, and they won't tell. So I'm back at the car after what can only be considered a successful wild camp, and my actual first wild camp ever. There were some things I would do differently, and there are some things that I think worked perfectly well. I won't go into bore you with the details, but I think pretty much for a first wild camping experience, I can't fault it really.
it would have been nicer if I'd have woken up this morning to how the weather is now. If I look out the window, you can probably just see behind me, out the car windows. It's beautiful. All the way down, the walk's been absolutely fantastic. Beautiful sunshine, very warm, still a bit breezy. But when I woke up this morning and looked out the tent, you'll see from the pictures in the video that it was just grey and very, very windy. Had I not been behind the wall I was behind, or near, I think I would have probably had a bit more difficulty with the tent, because when I packed up, it was hard work. But when I got over the wall, or through the wall, onto the main path, the wind was insane. I had to put my woolly hat on, my snood, whatever you call them, buff up over my face, gloves on, fleece on. It was pretty horrible. It was like middle of winter, but then I came back down into sort of lower down, and it sort of eased off a little bit and the sun came out. So it'd have been nice if it had come out to this, but other than that, I can't fault it. I've had a great time. Really enjoyed it. It was so peaceful last night, but overall, tent held up fine, despite being flappy, as you'll have seen in the video. Tent held up fine. Weather wasn't too bad, rained through the night, and spooked myself a couple of times through the night when I heard a few funny noises. I think it was pretty much just sheep grazing literally right outside the tent, because there was a big pile of poo over one of my tent poles, tent pegs this morning. But it's a bit of a weird sound when you're lying asleep in bed and you just hear some kind of munching sounds. It's a bit weird. And also, about 2 in the morning, I had a group of lads, well, men, out walking, and I heard someone go, "There's a tent there." And then I also heard him say, "Oh, that's 1 down, 8 to go." So I don't know what route they were doing and why they'd set off at such a crazy time, but they'd hit the top of Whernside at like 2 in the morning, so I don't know what other 8 peaks they were doing, if they were meaning peaks, unless they were looking for tents, God knows. So, as ever, highly recommend wild camping. My first effort, and I'm definitely probably going next rest days, and I'm going to be a bit more organised, and I think I'm going to go up to the Lake District, weather permitting, and I'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed this video, and take care out there.